I'm sitting here staring at my computer screen, and for the first time, I really don't know what to say or how to begin this episode. This marks the end of something really big. Good morning! The time has finally come to leave Ucluelet. We came here expecting to be here for about a weekend. We've ended up staying actually for 3 weeks. We've just had a ton of fun. We've made a lot of friends. We've worked on this project with our new friends Kelsey and Christian, and I don't know, even in that short time it feels like we walk around town and we recognize people. It's really nice. Honestly, if we didn't already have winter plans, we would stay here. However, we do have winter plans, and perhaps most importantly for the storyline of this channel, we have to complete the circumnavigation of Vancouver Island. We are so close now. We're just this final little stretch on the west coast down to Victoria once we get to Victoria, I'm going to consider the circumnavigation nearly complete. I guess you might consider it complete when we get back to Vancouver, but whichever way you look at it, we'll head back up into the inside, and that feels like a really distinct marker from the wild west coast to the inside passage. I've fallen in love with the west coast. It is so wild and beautiful.
What a cool lagoon.
There's a sense of just real, working with nature. It is so powerful, the forces out here, as we saw last week when the storm rolled through. And then now that the storm has cleared, just the shimmering beauty by contrast. It's a special place. However, the Inside Passage is my home. It's where I'm from. The Salish Sea area, so I'm also excited to get back there. And hopefully we'll make good time. We're going to stop overnight in Port Renfrew, but it will really just be a little stopover and then carrying on to Victoria the next day. Let's go! Bye, you guys! It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
So good. We'll see you again soon.
Yeah,
Ooh, okay. We left for this journey 5 months ago. When we left, I had a lot of mixed feelings.
For the previous few years, I had been stuck in a rut, resigned to the refit, but the dream that we were supposedly working towards had been really crushed beneath reality.
I thought things were turning around, but this is very, very disappointing.
I didn't really like doing the refit, I wasn't good at it, and I felt like I was just dragging Aladino and myself down at the same time. I lost a huge amount of confidence in myself. I loved seeing Aladino pursue his passion and achieve just beautiful results. But as the refit stretched over years, with no real end in sight, I was no longer myself. When the time finally came to launch the boat for good, I mostly just felt numb. I didn't feel proud or excited. I was just tired.
Yeah, they dropped us in the water and let go the lines, and it's like, okay, are you good? Are you good? Okay, well then, okay, you said yes. It's not on me, it's on you.
Even after the launch, there was a really big part of me that just wanted out of the whole thing.
We're still very much in chaos mode. Things are happening, last-minute projects are being dealt with.
In fact, I had already chosen a new life. I had picked out a master's program, and I had compiled most of the things that I needed to apply for it. But before completely changing my entire life, I promised to give the boat one last chance. The Northern Voyage was a test.
There's a porpoise right in front. Do you see it, Aladino? It's right in front of us.
I knew that if I were to get my sparkle back, I would need to focus on the things that I have always loved: art and storytelling and music. And so I pledged to throw myself into these videos in a way that I had never done before. They were a salve to my soul. I spent hours and hours, days and days crafting these stories, obsessively working on every little detail, not only building a story, but really building myself back in the process. And slowly it began to work.
How stunning is this? I actually cannot believe it.
Through making these videos, I began to fall in love with the boat, as the vessel that made the art possible, as the medium which allowed me to film and record and play music. I captured the way that the light danced through the portholes, how it illuminated the countless details that we had spent so long laboring over. I laughed with joy as the white sails flew against the blue sky, and we surged forward, this once static object, now animated and alive. Quite quickly, actually, I felt my old sense of joy and wonder coming back.
Because we just spotted a big grizzly. It's too perfect. Golden hour, grizzly in the estuary.
Yeah.
I mean...
And I felt an unfamiliar warmth towards our boat, now finally our beautiful home. With every passing week, as we pushed farther north, as we became lost in the immense beauty of this coastline, the boatyard retreated further and further away on the horizon until it was just a black and white memory. The world in front was now in full color. I was, once again, myself.
What an absolutely incredible day. It's been a pretty uneventful 50 nautical mile run. But yeah, we've had clouds come over. We were in the fog for a little bit, and then we also had just blue skies and incredible sunshine like you can see now. But we are well and truly in fall now, fall season, around middle of October. And it is chilly in the air, so yeah, the gloves had to come out and just something to break the wind a little bit. Really interesting to note also how the coastline has changed. Of course, there's always the vegetation, so many trees, but the shoreline has changed. The whole coastline up to Ucluelet was sprinkled with rocks and reefs, actually all the way up to Bamfield. But now it seems to be of something that erodes a little easier, and so the whole coastline here, it's like a bluff shoreline of 20-30 feet high, and you can go so close to shore because there is no more rocks and reefs sprinkled all over, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we're about to tuck into Port Renfrew. We're gonna look for an anchorage and then do a similar run tomorrow. In the name of completing our circumnavigation of Vancouver Island.
How did you sleep?
That was a fun night, wasn't it? Astronaut training. Yeah.
Well, this place is called Thrasher Bay,
For a reason.
and it's earned its name.
Totally. I mean, we knew it'd be open, but when the swell was actually coming from the northwest, it looked like where we tucked in was a little more protected. But the swell is now coming from the south. So yeah, anyway, it was 8 hours of holding on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, there were some stages where we did rest a little bit.
Anyway,
All in all.
journey continues.
Exactly, it's good offshore training.
Experience the wonder, experience the new. Come fly, fly, fly with me into the blue. Experience the feeling of walking on air. Come soar, soar, soar with me, here, there, and everywhere. Discover
We are flying! So we had a pretty uneventful passage. It's been incredibly sunny though for the season, so that is super nice. Even though chilly. But yeah, all sails are up and we have the perfect angle for Souk. So we're about to get in there, drop the sails and check it out. We could have gone all the way to Victoria. That's another 20 nautical miles though. Days are getting shorter, so and since the angle is getting us here instead of continuing to tack, we're happy with that for today. So next stop, Souk.
What an absolutely beautiful day. Pretty uneventful passage all in all. We're anchored now behind this little spit in Souk Harbor. We're just gonna have a really calm evening on the boat, I think. Not gonna get up to too much, have an early night. And tomorrow head into Victoria. I don't know. I don't know if tomorrow we should consider that the sort of end of the circumnav or if today counts, but I feel like the circumnav is over. I feel like we're back. You know, the west coast of Vancouver Island just has such a tiny population. There are so few people and so few communities, and what communities there are quite small. And so I can already, you know, just the chatter of people on shore and the sound of cars, and it feels like we're back somewhere that's different from where we've been the past little while.
I don't know about you, but I like to tell the truth, but the truth seems to change every Tuesday. When I watch the news, man, it just gives me the blues. No one listens, just on a mission to hear their own voice. It's a wild world, we're all trying to find our place in it. It's a wild world and no one seems to understand it. It's a wild world, but there ain't no way I'm gonna quit it. Love is all I've got to give away. Some folks ain't got $1 to their name, others got their own jet planes. We all have the same blood running through our veins.
We approached the city of Victoria, and even though this isn't my home city, it still felt a bit like coming home. Back to protected waters, back to people and noise and things. But it struck me how different we are now. I left somewhat broken, and I return whole. This Northern Voyage has taken us through far more than just geographical space.
It's a wild world, but there ain't no way I'm gonna quit it. Love is all I've got to give away.
In the next episode, we go visit our friend Simon on Gabriola, and he helps us to make a new dodger for the boat. Then we sail over to the big city of Vancouver, where we spend a bit of time getting inspired by all the things that a city has to offer, before escaping once again to spend winter in the wilds of the coastline, beneath snowy mountains, all alone in anchorages that are normally full to bursting in the summertime. And then we spend a bit of time getting the boat ready for the adventures of next year. Not a full refit this time, just Aladino making a few more upgrades, while I ship out books.
I realized that I actually haven't shown the actual physical book on the channel yet, because as soon as the book arrived to our door, we just went mad with shipping them out. It was an absolute, what a task. Oh, it was crazy. But we're finally kind of done with the majority of the orders, and now have a little bit more breathing room as the stock trickles down to the very last few books. So I wanted to show you the Northern Voyage. I'm so incredibly proud of this. It's been a real labor of love and a lot of work, but the result is this. It's a hardcover book. My favorite feature, it's got debossing on the title and subtitle and also on the spine. So the letters all have that lovely texture, which is so nice. And inside is 280 full-color pages of photographs and stories from this entire Northern Voyage. The book really takes you along this entire journey, and I wanted it to kind of bridge the gap between coffee table book that you can flip through just for the photographs, but also a book that you can actually read cover to cover with stories about all of the places that we went. So you really can read through it. It takes you along the entire journey. I tried to write it nicely, sort of as a companion to these videos. And not only a companion to the videos, but also sort of an additional resource. You know, there's stories that can come to life through the written word that are harder to bring to life through video, and I think that's where the book really shines. Alongside the stories, there's also a few, not very many, but little how-to things, like how to smoke a salmon on the beach. That's something that we did twice along this journey that we got lots of questions about the actual logistics of how to do that. And then there's also one on how to bake the bread. I made a whole video on baking the bread, which had some really, really lovely feedback. So I've included that recipe in here somewhere. Here it is. So if you want a hard copy of how to bake bread. But other than that, it's all stories and photographs. That's from Brooks Peninsula. And it's something to flip through and gain inspiration for your own sailing adventures, hopefully. Not to mention, we have been creating on YouTube for I think 7 or 8 years at this point, which is amazing. I love making videos, but videos always exist in a screen format. They're always a little bit intangible. And so having something actually tangible that I can hold in my hands is really, really, really lovely. So if you would like to order a book, we are down to the very last stock. So we have a few regular hardcover books left. We have a few personalized options available, so if you wanted us to sign a book for you. But I also just listed the last few remaining boxes we have are discounted because it's books that got a little bit damaged in their transit to us. So they've got a few scuff marks on the cover. So I've listed those ones for 25% off, which comes to about 35 Canadian dollars, normally 48 Canadian dollars. And I think that's like 20 something US dollars. I forget exactly. You'll see on the website, it does all the math for you. I am not sure about doing another print run. This has been a lot of work, and obviously we can't ship books when we're on the boat, which means I would need to find somebody else to do the shipping. So it's not impossible. I'm looking into options, but I can't guarantee anything right now. So if you want a book, now is the moment. And especially if you want a signed book, because those will be gone as soon as we're gone, because even if I get someone else to do the shipping, they obviously can't sign the books for us. So thank you for giving us this opportunity. It's been overwhelmingly so positive, and I really truly appreciate the feedback that we've gotten on it. I am very grateful and happy to say we've shipped out over 900 books now. We ordered 1,000, and so far we have not had a single complaint about a damaged book or somebody not being happy with their book. Of course, we've had a few packages go missing in the post because it's impossible to ship out that many books and not have something happen with the post, but I've been really on top of those, filing investigations with the shipping company, and I think there was only 3 that went missing, which is not too bad. And of course, I'm on top of it. People will get their books. So, a great experience. I'm really happy with how it turned out. The printer did a great job. Printed in Canada. I think that's all I have to say on that now. Thank you. Oh, and link will be in the video description, of course.
And so, the Northern Voyage is over. The voyage is not over, for that continues and will do for quite a few years into the future, I believe. But this one chapter, this huge integral part of the journey, the sort of the test, the proof of concept for whether or not we can keep doing this. And it has proven to be a resounding success. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing this voyage to happen. Thank you for sticking with us, even through the hard times. Thank you for believing in the project when I had lost all belief. Thank you. An extra big thank you to the folks whose names are now appearing on screen for always going above and beyond to make sure that Magic Carpet keeps being produced, and a very big thank you to all of our patrons who made this entire series, who made the entire refit, every single video, all of this all happen. We quite literally could not have done this without you. So if you are a patron, you are a huge reason for the success of this voyage, and we really cannot thank you enough. A huge thank you to everybody for watching, and similarly, if you guys weren't interested in this voyage and didn't want to watch what we were producing, then we wouldn't be able to continue with this either. So every time you watch a video, you leave us a thumbs up, you subscribe to the channel, that all is so immensely helpful, and we are so grateful to you for coming along on this voyage. And now we head into more distant waters. Next year, we plan on sailing south to the sun. And that gives you a little preview of what the next series of videos might be all about. But in the meantime, we have a few winter episodes for you before we start in earnest on the next season. Bye for now.